Hey everybody, Charlie 902 here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, we met Biff Stroganoff, or Beef Stroganoff, and we're trying to get our way out of the first class VIP cabins. So let's see what we can do here. Let's talk to him, passenger in the next door cabin. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asagi's? Stroganov. His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He's a very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman. Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with the murder of the student boy. Well, why are you talking in different colors here? How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East islands. That was harsh. Yeah, it was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. All right. Let's talk about last night. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganov? Da, all the time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at that time? At the time? Anything unusual? Whoa. Hit. Susada-san? Did you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way. Oh, he's looking off to the side. He's lying to us. I said no. Sorry. I'm not so sure. I'm not either. He looked off to the side when he was telling us that. I could have sworn that he wouldn't. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Hey, that's what I was talking about. I noticed that. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. When the lobster whistles on top of the mountain? Or as English say, when the pigs fly. I'm going to start using that. When the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. Yes, I understand. But now he's gone. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Should be able to click here now? No. Yeah, examine. Oh, I have to do the... can't use my mouse because that would make too much sense. Let's look at this. Gotta remember my keys there. That book on top of the table there is really huge. There's a pen with it, too. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? Yeah, we should. The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Or Mr. Stroganoff was either asleep or not here. He wanted to lie to us, so he was probably asleep. So he's going to cover that up by saying, yeah, there was nothing to report. I was here the whole time. Okay. Door. I like that they put the little check mark. It's been a few days since I've last played, so it's helpful to know what I can and cannot look at. This is already checked. How do we move again? Was it, I don't remember. It was like B, yeah. B and N? Or B and M? This door here. Can we just go in there? This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Sorry, I was looking to see if the mouse was visible here. Let me try to get that away. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Maybe who's ever in that cabin is probably already dead? Because we haven't heard from them. So if there's some snakes, maybe they got out and killed whoever's in there, plus came over and killed Kazuma. Knock, knock. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. How much y'all want to bet it's Herlock Sholmes in there screaming? Stand aside. Oh no, he's out here. I'm about to break the door down. All right, let's see you do it there, tough guy. Mr. Sholmes! I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. That is a pretty darn stout-looking door. Kick it off. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Alright, what are we going to find in here? 9th of January, SS Butterya, first class cabin number 2. Oh god. So... So this is the assassin. You guys are calling him a Western gentleman. This is the Russian assassin with the beard. How can y'all not see this? Ooh, who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. Yeah, he's got the Urshenka hat on and everything. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. Hey, check that out. His books are also kicked over to the side. Alright, so that supports my theory that it was a jolt to the ship that caused all these books to shift and caused that door to lock. But in that case, who just screamed? Must have been him. Get out, all of you, now. Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I'm the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. He's showing him his book. I'm a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man uses that magazine like a business card. Yeah, I just noticed that. A detective? I do not trust detectives. Why don't you trust detectives? We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside of one's trunk? Don't look at me. But, okay. Did you just see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. The case just shook. Leave, now. Otherwise, I'll call the steward. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. You don't say. The guy who's wearing sunglasses and what appears to be a fake beard and a full hat indoors. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we could find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Oh, so we're going to search his room while he's standing here? What are you doing, Herlock Sholmes? With your ridiculous name. Alright, so here's where the connector would be, right up here for the vent. Let's start over this way. Let's hit B. Let's get my mouse off the screen here. Alright, so... Well, first I want to look at these books. What do you think you're doing? Hi! This is my cabin. Get out! Can we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No. Ha, what a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree. There may be someone else who can help. Perhaps the great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Yeah, let's talk to him, I guess. Does he have a gun on his hip? Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. Okay, really? You're gonna take all the time so that we don't call you Mr.? That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh, does he have his own theme song? Oh! And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Is it something incredibly racist that you're about to say? Why, the truth, of course. Maybe not so racist. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Yeah, let's witness it. Maybe you'll be right this time. Oh yes, please. Well then, what you're about to see may as well astound you. For I'm about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? I don't think he could. What? From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness? Or Russian on account of his dubiousness? Okay, once again, borderline racist, if not full-blown racist there. Let's keep going. I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Or anyone. I agree, Ryu. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes... I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. It really does. Shh. I must have complete silence. All right, let's do it, Sholmes. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. Huh? There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Yeah, that could be true, but there's no way to know that right now. Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you, though? Is that a fish in his pocket? What is that in his pocket there? Why does he have his gloves on in his cabin? Are you not? Huh? That might be a newspaper. And number two, the other conclusion I've drawn. You are, at this very moment, no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. He does look shocked, does it not? Ah! Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. Really? What? What ineffable twaddle. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. Susato, you're just a dumb too, aren't you? This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Tip your hat again. Very well then, I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. A little dramatic much? Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Oh, Cowboy Bebop looking silhouette. I like it. The great deduction. Whoop, I missed that. Topic 1. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place, I like this exposition here, is the enormous pairs of shears in your hands. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. To cut his beard off, you're on the verge of using the shears to cut away that copious beard you sport. Yeah, I guessed right. Now, moving on. I like the little twirl over on this side. The question then begged is, why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Because it incriminates him. Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter, the newspaper. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article, which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Villain Bolshevik Flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Willem Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Conclusion. A revolutionary on the run. That's topic 1. Let's go to topic 2. Wrongdoing. All right, lay it out for us there, Roylott. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah! And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealed inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps? One slight enough to fit therein? Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Let me guess, the dancer? Dear me. We're not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. I don't know what coup d'oeil means. Coup d'oeil? Coup d'oeil? Don't know that word, sorry. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, renowned prima ballerina of the Novacek ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Conclusion: kidnapping of a young ballerina. Flick of a hat. This thus concludes Sherlock Holmes's great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elemensky. Okay. Susato-san. That wasn't of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Can we not turn our back on the guy with the giant pair of shears? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary. Well able to revolutionize his own appearance. I don't know why I struggled so much with that. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from that case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote certain litheness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. That is insane. Oh dear. You might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. You're not wrong. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Mr. Sato. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some key words in his deduction? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel like we could do that. So, side note, tact is a very near and dear subject to me. I had a old mentor many years ago, probably 24 years ago, 23 years ago now, and he told me the definition of tact was the ability to tell someone to go to hell and have them look forward to the trip. So we must tactfully change some words around here. We'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought I was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. He is. At times I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. And you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Yeah, the shackles on them? Oh, they're not there. Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Can we get like some fanfare and some lights? There we go. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Okay, topic 1, old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. Probably the scissors? See enormous pairs of shears in your hands. Yes. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You're on the verge of using the shears to cut away your copious beard you sport. So this is kind of like when the witnesses were on the stand. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? Maybe the mass of the beard, and then you would get a razor for the close parts, but you're right, you wouldn't use huge shears like that. I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either, which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on. Probably that newspaper. Exactly. And that's not Mr. Roylott, that's the ballerina with a fake beard on. Possibly. And a fake nose. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. How do you know how this works, but I don't? Why am I the one to do something about this? Yeah. Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shears for? I need to move it around. Oh, I can like rotate him? It wasn't the beard. It wasn't the coat buttons. How do I scroll? Can I scroll down? Oh, yeah. This is the, this is the ballerina. Yeah, the golden locks. How about we're going to present that? Oh, I had to hit R, not P.
Yes!
Even though P would make sense. Golden locks. You're on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. So, we're just trying to make you look good. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman. And judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one's still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification, but we will see next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and/or a subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.